Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my everyday foundation routine. In this video I decided that I wanted to show you my foundation routine and then also just kind of my overall face routine, like just an example of like how I blush and bronzer and all of that, just because I thought you guys might be interested. So this is just what it looks like. It's very simple. I actually only used bronzer today because I didn't want to do blush and everything, but as I say in the video, some days I'll use bronzer, sometimes I'll use just blush. I just switch it up depending on my mood. If you have any questions, feel free to post them down below, and don't forget to give this video a like if you like it, and if you're interested in seeing how I got my face to look like this, then please keep on watching. So first off, when I'm applying any face makeup, regardless of whether it's foundation, BB cream, powder, concealer, whatever, I always apply some form of primer, and lately I've been using the Natural Radiance by MAC Prep and Prime. I can't really tell you how I feel about this. I mean, my makeup does last a long time, but I don't know if it's the foundation or the primer, but I definitely do like this primer. So I just put little dots of the primer all over my face and then just blend it in. I really do like it though. I just can't say whether or not it's like amazing, but I do definitely like it because my makeup lasts a really long time. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Revlon Nearly Naked foundation. This is my go-to foundation of the moment. I kind of switch it up a bit depending on the occasion or whatever, but this is really nice. It has an SPF of 20. Mine's in the colour 120 Vanilla, and I absolutely love this for like a medium coverage all over the face. I do kind of build it up in certain areas like my chin by applying more foundation and or concealer, so I just think it's really versatile. So to apply this, I like using both a flat top. This one is by XO Beauty, but personally lately I've been using a stippling brush. Either will work, but I just like the way that the stippling brush just gives a really nice finish. That being said, I'm 100% happy to use a flat top if this one is being washed. They both work great. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see the difference because the lighting right now is playing tricks, but this is my face with one full layer. You can still definitely see, you probably can't tell on camera, but in real life you can definitely see my freckles, moles, all of that, and they haven't been like they haven't kind of gone grey, which I feel like a lot of foundations, if you guys can relate if you have moles, if it's too high coverage and it's too like cakey thick, it can kind of change the colour of your moles and make them look really weird. It's covered that up really nicely, and it's just started to conceal my scarring. It's not 100% gone, but that's exactly what I want in a foundation, because if it completely conceals my scarring, it means it's completely concealed the rest of my skin. This still has quite a nice sort of transparency to it, so you can still see my natural skin, but at the same time it is a really nice coverage. The only thing that I don't like about this foundation is that it doesn't have a pump. So now that my foundation is on and my skin is just generally even, I'm going to go ahead and conceal. So the first one that I use is the Covergirl and Olay Simply Ageless Concealer. This is in the colour 210. And it just looks like this. I use this underneath my eyes, so I just get a little bit on my finger, and it's quite pinky orange toned in comparison to my natural skin, which really helps to cancel out the colour of my under eye circles. They can differ from person to person depending on your undertone. For me, pink, salmon, orangey tones really help to conceal my under eyes. I just apply it and pat it out with my finger, and I also just take it over my eyelid just to cover up any discoloration on my eyelids. So for my concealer, lately I've been using the MAC Pro Correct and Conceal palette. Prior to this I was using the Glamourflage by Hard Candy, which was also amazing. I just prefer this because I have a bunch more colours, and depending on, you know, if it's not covering with one colour I can try another, and it can just sort of help to make it a lot easier, and this is just more convenient as well because I have a bunch of colours. So these concealers are the MAC Studio Finish concealers, and I mix two together. So I use NC15 and NC20. I kind of mix and match these two just to get kind of like my perfect shade, because they are a little bit lighter than the foundation. So I just mix them to get the perfect colour, and I just go over any blemishes or scarring that need any concealing. Sometimes I need a little bit more pink, sometimes I need a little bit more yellow. That's why I really like this particular palette, because you've got warm and cool shades in here. I'm using the Real Techniques shading brush, which is actually meant as an eyeshadow brush, but I really like it for concealer. So if I'm feeling in a little bit more of a kind of full coverage or a little bit more of an intense foundation look, I really like the MAC Prep and Prime highlighter in Light Boost, which is the yellow toned one, and I just twist it a couple times and put some lines up my cheekbones. When I first used this I wasn't really like that impressed, but since I've kind of played with it I can see a difference when I use it and when I don't. So I just kind of draw a couple lines over my face. I do my forehead, my cheeks, a little bit down my nose, my chin, and a tiny, tiny bit in the centre of my chin. Did I call that chin? I meant Cupid's bow. You guys get the message. To blend it out, I really, really like my XO Beauty pointed kabuki because it's just nice and small, but at the same time it is the right shape, if that makes any sense. So it just blends it out without putting it everywhere. Hopefully you can see that I've just got a little bit more illumination to those areas on my face. So because I am using a cream bronzer, I'm not going to set my face until afterwards. So just keep that in mind. You want to do all of your creams, liquids, all of that before you powder. Otherwise you'll get like a cakey, weird, uneven appearance. So I'm going to be using the Bourjois bronzing primer, which looks like this, kind of just like chocolate mousse, and it smells like it as well. And I'm going to take that on my Expert face brush, and all I do is I just kind of stab the product with the brush, mix it around in the lid so that it's dispersed evenly on the bristles, and I just, you can see that, just apply it into the hollows of my cheeks and then just go back and blend it out. I try not to normally take the colour any further than like halfway or just over halfway between here and here. It can look quite dirty around your mouth. I just got a little bit more on the brush, and I personally just bronze in my temples. I don't take it up onto my forehead because I personally think that I have quite a small forehead and I don't really want to dwarf it anymore, so just a little bit to the temples and then just connect it. I think that's really, really necessary for me because I have a really light skin tone, and I feel like doing that just really amps up my skin. I obviously do apply blush as well, but now I'm going to go ahead and powder my face, and I absolutely adore the MAC Prep and Prime powder. I got this in my haul. I'll leave it down below because I'm using a lot of MAC in this video, but I just think this is so amazing. I feel like nothing else has ever set my makeup so well. It just has such a lovely finish. Even like the stickiest foundations, this one isn't sticky, but I have quite a few that are quite, you know what I mean, they just feel like they never set, but this powder sets them really well. I like to use the Real Techniques blush brush. I just dunk my brush into the product, swirl in the lid to disperse the product, and then I literally just push that over my skin. Once everything's been set in place, I do like to just buff it out just to make sure there's no excess powder sitting on the skin. I'm not actually going to be applying any blush today, so I'm going to apply a powder bronzer as well. This particular one has more of a sheen to it, so it's really nice to use in place of a blush. So if you can see, I kind of applied the cream bronzer more in a contour kind of placement. So now with this blush, I'm going to kind of put it over both, like in the blush area and the contour, just to intensify, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to take my absolute favourite, I can't remember if I mentioned this in my favourites video, but it's my Colour Caramel Terre Caramel Baked Bronzer, and I'm taking this on my Real Techniques buffing brush, which I think is the best brush for this product, and I just kind of blend that, as I mentioned, like over my blush and my bronzer, just because I want a really, really bronzed face. All I would do now is just apply a setting spray. I personally lately have been using the MAC Fix Plus. I also really like the dewy setting spray from NYX, but lately I just use this because it smells good, it's really, really cooling, and I just really like the way that this mists out. It's a lot nicer of a mist than the NYX one, so I just apply maybe 5 to 6 sprays over my face. I think that might have been more than 5 or 6, but that's okay. I just take a quick clean brush, this is just a stippling brush, and I just push this into my skin, because if you don't, it can make your hairs like stick out, and also you don't want to look sweaty because obviously you just sprayed water onto your face. And that's everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. I just really, really like this routine. I like all of the products that I've shown you guys, and it's kind of a mixture of high-end and cheaper products, mostly high-end though at the moment, because as you guys know, I bought a bunch of MAC stuff, so I've really, really been liking it. If you have any dupes for these that you guys might want me to try out, do let me know, but yeah, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!